big pile of books that I want to read. They're all nonfiction. Let's talk about them. The first book we have is When You're Engulfed by Flames, In Flames, whatever, by David Sedaris. This is a collection of essays, I believe, about his smoking addiction, but actually a blurb on the back says that the essays circle the theme of death and dying, which I'm all for. It's also listed as one of Phoebe Bridgers' favorite books, and I did a video a while back reading her favorite books, and I really enjoyed them, so that kind of makes me more interested in read this because I like her taste, so I'm taking it as a recommendation from like a friend almost. I'm a little sad about my edition because it's kind of beat up, and I bought it online. It said it was supposed to be like new, which is a big lie, but I'll live with it. I just think it sounds so interesting though, and I'm really excited to delve into it. Next you have Hacker, Hoaxer, Whistleblower, Spy, The Many Faces of Anonymous by Gabriella Coleman. I think that kind of describes what it's about. It's about the history of Anonymous. The only thing I really know about Anonymous is the whole Scientology stuff, where Scientology was trying to get like videos of Tom Cruise taken off of the internet, and Anonymous was not allowing it to happen. And I know that they just kind of have a few Scientology in general. That's all I know though, but I think Anonymous is really interesting and I would really like to learn more about it. This is a beefy book, but if anything, that just tells me there's going to be so much knowledge in here. After that, I have The Red Deal, Indigenous Action to Save Our Earth by the Red Nation. This book offers a vision for a decolonized society, and it's kind of a response to the Green New Deal. I picked this one up because I actually love the Red Nation podcast. I highly recommend it, and the people who do that created this book. And I actually listened to their episode where they were critiquing the Green New Deal, and it was just really, really eye-opening. I found the critiques to be really powerful, so I really want to learn more. And this one's so short, like I have no excuse not to read this. Next we have Lockdown America by Christian Parenti. This book just delves into how fucked up the American criminal justice system is, and it talks about the link between crime and politics. I'm actually in a clinic right now at school that talks a lot about the criminal justice system, whether it be policing or prisons, and it's really, really interesting, and I just think it's a really important subject for Americans especially to read about, because our system is modern day slavery and it's disgusting, and I'm really passionate about abolition, so if this is going to talk about that at all, I'm going to be really happy. Then we've got My Body by M. Rada. No, I'm not going to try to say her last name, but you know what I mean. This is a series of essays about her body and what it means to be a woman. I read one of her essays that came out well before this book was published, and I remember finding it really interesting. She was talking about her experience being a model and kind of the expectations people have of her. It was really interesting, and because of that I want to read this, and I'm really hoping this is about like a lot about her experience as being a model and less her take on like feminism, because I'm not really interested in a celebrity's take on feminism. So here's hoping. After that, we've got Slavery's Exiles by Sylvain A. Diouf? I'm so sorry. Spelled like this. I'm sorry. I can't speak anything. But this is the story of American Maroons, which are escaped enslaved people who made up their own communities hidden from white people. Which, first of all, I didn't even know that was a thing until I picked up this book and like read the back cover of it. And I think that's so cool and so fascinating. And this book delves into their communities and what they were like and what their culture was like. And I'm just really excited to pick this up because I think that's fascinating. And I feel like this is a really unexplored aspect of US history, and I'd like to learn more about it. Then we have Disability Visibility, First-Person Stories from the 21st Century, which is edited by Alice Wong. This book is, as the cover says, just a bunch of first-person stories from people who have disabilities. I actually worked at a clinic last semester in school where we helped people with disabilities receive like SSI and do estate stuff as well. But the SSI stuff really opened my eyes to how ridiculously difficult it is for people with disabilities to receive help from the government. So definitely spurred my interest a little bit more in this. But I also just don't have anything else on my shelves about disability. So I think it's important for me to read this and educate myself more on the subject. After that, we have Digging Our Own Graves by Barbara Ellen Smith. This is about coal miners and the struggle over black lung disease. This is such like a niche subject. I got this when I still had my Haymarket subscription, and for some reason I'm just ridiculously interested in this, like hyper interested in this very niche subject. So I'm definitely going to be picking this one up soon because for some reason I'm just really into it. And then the last book I'm going to talk about today is The Shape of Sex by Leah Devon. This is a history of non-binary gender from Genesis to the Renaissance. Like, isn't that so cool? I actually stole this book from my ex, and he knows I stole it, so like it's fine. It was kind of consensual in that way, but I wanted it, so I took it. I also don't have a lot on my shelves about gender. I think I might only have one other book, so I think it's definitely something I need to educate myself on more, and I just think this is such a niche subject as well that is also super cool. So there you go. Those are the nonfiction books that are on the top of my TBR. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon in another video. Goodbye!